Hello, how are you all today?
Fine, ma'am.
So, are you ready to learn some more of passive voice?
Yes, ma'am.
So, in the last class, I told you what is passive voice and what sentences can be made into passive, what is the requirement, what kind of verbs can be made into passive, that is transitive verbs, and finally we also learned what questions do you need to know whether something is the object. Okay, so now what happens in passive voice, that's what we are going to do, how to convert a statement in active voice to passive voice. That's what we are going to learn today. So first and foremost, suppose I give you a sentence like GHMC cuts trees before monsoon. Right? You are aware of it, are you?
Yeah, ma'am.
Before monsoon, before the rain starts, GHMC cuts trees. That is because otherwise these trees, they are likely to, uh, get into the wires and hmm, electric. So GHMC does it. No? They do it. Okay, fine. Now, what does the GHMC cut?
Trees,
Trees.
ma'am.
Okay, trees. So in active, what is the subject of this sentence? This sentence.
GHMC.
What's the verb? What's the object?
Trees.
Trees. Now, when you're converting from active voice to passive voice, the object becomes the subject. So, trees would become the subject. This sentence is very suitable for passive voice because we know that only GHMC cuts.
Yeah.
Only they can cut. So, it is not needed to say that it is GHMC. So, we can say trees are cut before monsoon. If at all you want to mention who does the job, the agent, you can say by GHMC. That is not necessary actually, but if you want, you can have that. The very reason why we make it into passive is we don't need to know who the agent is. That's the reason why we are doing it. Similarly, suppose I say, I'll give you another sentence and then we will go on to each tense. Then next is, the children are writing their final
Final
exams.
exams.
So, what are they writing?
Final exams.
So, this will become the subject. Right? Now, for this, the children is the subject, our writing is the verb, final exam is the object. So, the final exams are being written. Okay. So, I'll give you one more example. She has completed her final project. Okay. Her final project has been completed. So this becomes the subject, and then her final has been completed. Hmm. So now these are just a few random examples. Now we'll go on to how from active to passive, if we have to change, what changes take place for each tense. So from active voice, suppose it is active voice, this is passive. Okay. So in active voice, give me an example in simple present. Remember, we are going to make it into passive. She teaches. She teaches well. Can you make it into passive?
No.
What question will you ask? She teaches well. She teaches English. So she teaches well cannot be, because this is, it cannot be an object, right? So she teaches English. Okay, subject plus vs plus object. So we already spoke that, we talked over that the sentence should have an object. Okay, so now this becomes the subject. So what it will be, subject plus am, is, are plus v3. Okay, so when you say am, is, are, we give these choices because it should agree with the subject. If the subject, if this is plural, then that will be plural. Because if subject changes, the verb also has to change. So English is taught by her. Okay. Simple present. Okay. What is the structure for simple past? Subject plus
V2.
V2 plus object plus other words. Can have anything in the sentence. The sentence need not necessarily end with object. You can say uh, so what could be the, what's the object? What did he eat?
Bananas.
How many?
10.
10 bananas. Okay, so this becomes the subject of the passive voice. Here it is subject, verb. Okay, so now it will be subject plus was, were plus 10 bananas,
Were eaten.
because it is bananas, it will be were eaten.
Eaten.
Okay, by him. Okay, then this is simple past. Can you come up with some more examples in simple past? He broke the chair. How will you make it into passive? The chair
Was broken
broken
by
by
him.
him. Then suppose I say she met her sister.
Her sister was met by her.
You can say her sister was met by her, but it is better in active voice, don't you think so?
Yeah.
So it brings us to another point. Some sentences can be converted into passive voice, but then it should sound logical. Hmm? It should be practical, isn't it? Some sentences do not make sense. They are better in
Active
active
voice.
voice itself. Hmm? Now, simple present, simple past, that is how we change. Okay. Now, we come to present continuous and past continuous. Can you give me a sentence in active voice? Present continuous.
I am drinking juice.
Okay, I'm listening to the class. I'm listening to the teacher. You listen to the person. Class is just the room. Okay. What was their example? I'm drinking juice. Which do you think is better? Juice is drunk by me or I am drinking juice?
I am drinking juice.
Okay. I'm listening. I'm listening to the teacher. It makes sense. You say I am because individual, right? I'm reading a book. So, can you give the name of a specific book? Which book are you reading now?
What Young India was.
Okay, Young India Awards, is it? Okay. Uh, I'm reading. Uh, I'm reading the book, right? It should be the book. What should it be? The book. And you're talking about a specific
Specific book.
what Young India wants. Very good. Hmm, that's nice. So, can you make it into passive?
Yes.
So, what will be the structure? It will be subject plus am, is, are plus being plus V3 plus anything else. Okay. The the book, what Young India wants is
Is
being
being
read
by
by
me.
me. Okay. Suppose I say she is writing short stories. Ah, short stories plural
Are
are
being
being
written
written
by
by
her.
her. Okay. So what about past continuous? Can you give me an example? Okay. So it should be subject plus was, were plus before plus object. This is the active voice. Okay. So how do you write that?
Object plus
Now this would become
subject.
subject. And the example that you gave, what was the example you gave?
She was writing the novels.
She was writing novels. You use the only for something specific. Okay, novels. So novels would become subject, right? So subject plus was, were plus being plus V3, whatever else you want. Hmm? So this sentence would be novels were being
Being
written
written
by
by
her.
her.
We have done up to simple present, simple past, present continuous and past continuous. So present perfect. We go on to present perfect. Okay. Can you give me some sentences in present perfect active? Active voice subject. What is the structure for active for present perfect?
Have
Have
or
has
has.
plus have has plus V3 plus object. So because the main aim here is to be able to make it into passive, it is needed. You do need an object. Without an object, the sentence cannot be made into passive voice.
I have completed my hydroelectric project.
Okay, good. I have. I can say Amin has.
Yeah.
In has completed the hydroelectric project. Okay. So what's the subject here?
Hydroelectric project.
So okay, the active voice. Amin is the subject. What's the verb?
Had
Has
completed.
completed. The whole thing is a verb. What has he completed?
Hydroelectric.
The hydroelectric project. So, what would be the passive voice? Subject plus have, has plus been plus.
V3.
So, the hydroelectric project has been completed. Has been completed. Okay. Now, what about past perfect? I had had my lunch. Can you make it into passive?
No. Lunch. What?
Not done. You can choose an example like she had cut vegetables. Hmm. They had cleaned the room, right? Hmm. Subject plus had plus V3. Again, that comes under sentences which are very odd in passive voice. You said I had had my lunch. Lunch had been had by me. Sounds very odd. Huh? Language is not like your physics and chemistry, balancing equations. You can't balance like that. No? It should make sense also. It's in real situations. Hmm? So that is what it is. Had plus object would be the object would become the subject plus had been plus V3. So she had cut the vegetables. What should be the passive voice?
The vegetables had
Had been
been
cut
cut.
by her. Oh. Sometimes we don't need to mention that by the person.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to ask, is this place cleaned? Yes, it is cleaned. As we said, we don't know. It could be done by multiple people. Ultimately, the aim is that the work is done. That is what people want. Okay, now simple future. So, can you tell me the simplest way to simple future? How do you use simplest way of expressing simple future?
I will do the homework.
Yes, subject plus
Will, shall.
will,
Will, shall.
shall. Shall is not used much. Plus V1 plus object, right? Okay. Uh, they they will do the homework. Okay. They will do the homework. So this becomes subject plus modal verb will be plus V3. So what should it be? The homework will be done. Suppose you allot some work to somebody. So what do we do? It will be done. Okay. So now you should also know how to make it into passive. For example, what were the examples you took for simple present? Give me an example. The same examples which we gave for simple present, active, passive. Okay, give me a sentence in passive voice, simple present.
The
Okay,
PM will award
the No, no, in a simple present. In simple present. Okay. Fruits are eaten. Hmm? Fruits are eaten after dinner. Okay? After dinner. This is in passive voice. So, how will you make it into negative?
The fruits are not eaten.
Fruits are not eaten after dinner. What about question? Are
Are
Fruits
fruits eaten
eaten after
after dinner?
dinner.
After dinner, okay. Uh, so suppose I want this answer.
What are eaten after dinner?
What is unknown quality? We always use what. What is eaten after dinner? It could be pan parag, it could be pan, it could be a mouth freshener, it can be anything, right? It can be a dessert. Very good. So today we learned how to convert from active to passive. So we talked about simple present, simple past, present continuous,
And
past
past
continuous,
continuous,
present
present
perfect,
perfect,
past
past
perfect,
perfect,
and
and simple future.
simple future. So that is it. With that, we come to the end of this class. So do practice what we have done here. Practice at home. Okay, bye. Thank you.